zookeepers, and welcome to Northridge Zoo. Today we're finishing our desert dome and getting the inside of it looking beautiful. We're also gonna add the FENNEC FOX to our zoo, the most adorable animal on the planet. So sit back, relax, and chill with me as I finish building our desert dome. But first I want to introduce you to our baby Addix that was just born in our franchise mode. It's so cute. Obviously he's in the desert oasis. That was an exclusive. This area isn't open to the customers yet because we have to finish building our desert dome, exactly what we're doing today. So last episode, we went ahead and added this whole plaza area, got the whole structure built, so it's looking pretty good in here. However, if you keep wandering, it gets a little more blank. So we're going to be finishing up this whole area, adding 2 habitats and a full-on restaurant and toilet area. So it's going to be a pretty busy episode, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we'll be building will be the peccary. Whoa, I don't think that's how you say it. Peccary. Peccary? I think it's a colored peccary. Peccary. I think it's peccary. I'm going with that, peccary. And they're found pretty much everywhere, but they also live in the desert in the US and Mexico. So I think that'll be a great addition to this desert dome. I also saw a recent picture of one of their habitats in like a desert building, and it looks so good that I wanted to build it. We'll also be having an exhibit animal as well as a FENNEC FOX that is going to be right over in that area. So yeah, let's get into making it. First, I want to destroy what we've built somewhat. I need to kind of go in and edit some of these walls to just kind of open it up, essentially. We need to get going and have it be wide open, just kind of like this. It's going to be a lot more open on this side compared to the entrance area that's right over there. There we go. And we're just going to destroy all of these walls, essentially, all the way to there. There we go. Okay, yeah. It's going to be wide open. And then let's get the path going so we can kind of get a plan going. This was just a temporary staff path. I needed that desperately to kind of picture where everything's going. But yeah, we're just going to kind of have it go through here. I'm looking at a little reference drawing that I did. It's always good to kind of have it planned out just before you get into the weeds and everything. I also, speaking of planned out, I kind of had this laid out just to show exactly where I wanted to add our restaurant. This is just part of the planning phase still. But yeah, we definitely need to add that. That'll be there, and then the toilets will be there. Let's go ahead and add a toilet as well. That's probably one of the most important things you got to add to the zoo. Okay, let's get that going right there. And they're already complaining about not being able to reach their stuff. Don't worry, guys. You will be able to. Right very soon. Okay, and then let's go ahead and kind of do a path into the toilet area. There's going to be like ATMs back here too. It's going to be pretty sick. Something like this. Yeah. There we go. And it's going to be kind of like a cave back there. It's going to be epic. Okay. And then we kind of want to make like a little bit of a circular area right here. Just kind of as an entrance to making the restaurant. We're going to call this the Oasis Restaurant. We've been talking about that for a few episodes now, and we're finally getting to making it. So, yeah, there we go. We'll do kind of like a little circle area, and then this is where the fox is going to be, right about here. And then it'll kind of circle about right here and go back this way towards and around the peccary. The peccary. That's how you say it. And then it connects right about there. And then there's going to be a little exhibit animal right here. I think it's going to be the Gila monster. And then I guess we can kind of connect the path right here if you want. So basically, when you walk in, there's only one entrance. So I wanted it to be like, oh, if you just hug the left, you can go in the full loop and then just come around here again, see the different exhibits. So it's not like you're seeing the exact same thing over and over again. That's kind of like, that's an issue sometimes in zoos, you know, just seeing having to double back and stuff. But this way, when you double back, you're actually seeing different stuff. So let's kind of get everything laid out. And then we need our exhibit that we'll be having. That's just going to go like right there. Literally just right there. Cool. I might scoot it back a little bit, actually. There was like I think it was like I was watching a zoo tour on YouTube, and there was a really cool thing where you could see one exhibit through a different like little habitat, like a snake enclosure, and I kind of want to duplicate that here. So it looks almost like this exhibit is shared with the peccary. Let's see if we can try to kind of like something like that. We'll kind of get into the exact look of it very soon, but I just want to kind of get the general sense of what I'm going for here. Cool. Yeah. Something like that. Where it's like you can kind of almost peek through the cave and you should be able to see it through there. And then we want like a little maybe desert bushes right in this area. Get some mulch. Yeah, I'm really excited for this desert dome. I think it's looking pretty fantastic so far, and we're not even done with it yet. So I'm excited to see these two enclosures in here to kind of finish it off, and then as well as the restaurant. So, yeah. Get it all laid out like this. We can add some of these amazing bushes that I discovered in one of the last episodes. Just kind of fills in like a dry climate, really. Okay. And then, is there too many arches if I do another one? Is that too many? That might be too many. We'll keep it to 2 minimum. Scoot that back a little bit. Can I scoot this back too? Without it clipping? Yeah. Okay. Cool. And we'll figure that out more. First, I need to get the enclosures laid out. That's going to be kind of my main concern because they're going to require a little bit of space. Let me actually see how much space they need. They need 5 individuals. So they need 328 meters. I think that's fine. I think if we do it like here, that'll be kind of the middle point for the 2 enclosures. So then we have the foxes on this side. They're from the Sahara. We got the peccaries over here, and they're from North America. And obviously we'll have a little archway to kind of be like, don't go in this area. This is for staff, which we'll build a little staff door there as well. So then it'll be kind of separated like so, with these like little rock walls. And then I guess the rock walls will kind of like line this whole edge of the building. We want to make it look very natural in here, even though it's just a bunch of plaster walls. I actually ended up, after the episode, I ended up adding like these blue painted walls, and I think they're actually fantastic. So I might have to do that in that this section as well. I think it just adds like a little bit of like, oh yeah, we're outside, even though we're not technically. The dome might do a lot of that work in this section, to be fair. So we'll just see, I guess, once we get these kind of rocks in place. And I'll add a couple of individual rocks to kind of like spice up this design so it doesn't look repetitive. We'll get some of these and just kind of sink them in every so often. Maybe one more like here. Something like that. There we go. It's already kind of coming together. So for this one, I want it to be more open-aired. For the armadillo enclosure that we did last episode, it was all glass. This one, I want it to, like, you're sharing in the same space. I don't want you have to look through glass for the peccary. I don't think you would really need glass. So what we're going to do is build this little line right here, and we're going to kind of dig it down just a tad bit. Nothing crazy. Just something so then it's a little bit sloped towards the back. Maybe even raise up the back a little bit. Yeah, something crazy like that. There we go. Okay. And then I'm hoping this is enough space, actually. I'm starting to get scared. It should be fine. We'll find out very soon anyways. But for the fence, I want to do this thing. It's technically a shop facade, but I found it in the first video we did in this living desert area. And honestly, it's a perfect fence if you flip it around. So I guess we'll continue kind of that motif of just like having this. And we'll have it as kind of the border for this building or this enclosure. And then I think probably for the fox we'll end up having glass because I think they get a little shy. So we don't want them getting stressed out from all of the amazing guests that will be coming and visiting the Desert Dome very, very soon as we open it to the public. Right now, it is still being built, so we haven't opened it up yet. Okay, and then there. And then just a few more. I'm thinking 2 more probably. I honestly think it's a little angled, so I might have to fix that right after putting this next one in. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to go ahead and select them all. And I'm pretty sure it's like accidentally sloped up. So we're going to kind of fix that right there and maybe lower them even more so. There we go. Nothing crazy. Yeah, nothing crazy is the idea. I guess we can kind of start putting this barrier in to see if this is actually decent for the peccary. Or if we have to get crazy and add something else. I don't know. We're about to find out how much space this is. We need it like 380 something, but I think this falls shy of that, to be honest. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and do kind of like a concrete something there. And then we'll throw in the door there. And for some reason, it's not attached. There we go. How much space? 276. Okay, that's a little less than what it needs. Oh no. Did I write down any other ones that we could possibly have? Let me see. We might have to choose a different animal, actually. One that fits in this area, and then we're gonna go desert. Not a lot. Let's just go desert animals all around. We need one that'll be happy in here. Sandcat, potentially. Potentially. I feel like a sandcat wouldn't be in like an open-aired one like this. We can do a tortoise, perchance. Perchance a tortoise. Oh, porcupine would be fun. Oh no, they wouldn't like that space either. Let's just get a few of the peccaries in, and then we'll just see if they actually like it or not. Peccary. Let's do that one and that one. It's just because they need 5 of them, really. That threw me off. Let's just see if 2 work for now. We'll go ahead and send that to here while we keep building. Okay. Let's go ahead and kind of attach that right there. I do want to change the colors of this one. I feel like this is as big as we're gonna be able to make it anyway, so I feel like we just have to get an animal that fits in this area perfectly. Anyway, so maybe prairie dogs? Maybe. Okay. I guess we'll have to start, I'm gonna start kind of laying out the idea with the fox area. Nothing crazy, just kind of like maybe a little glass area here. And honestly, that's probably gonna be it. It's just a little glass viewing right there. And then a little rock wall right here to kind of send you towards the restaurant. There. Yeah, something like that. So I need to see if this is going to be good enough for the fox area as well. Or maybe if this is like actually more, this one's bigger, then maybe we can send the peccaries this way. But we're going to find out. Cool. Let us see. Where are they? There they are. You happy? No, you are not. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna have to have a different animal in here. I think it's gonna have to be the prairie dogs. Yeah, he's not happy. Okay, let's send you away. I'm sorry, man. You guys were so excited to be a part of the Desert Dome, but you just don't like the space. So we're gonna have prairie dogs instead. That's okay. They're part of North America as well. They like the desert, don't they? They do. Okay, technically they're more like Great Plains area, but hey, I think it'll be fine in the Desert Dome still. I think they will be. Okay, let's get some prairie dogs. They'll be cute in this area too. I guess let's just get, we need a lot of them, no? We'll get 3. 3 is a lot, no? 3 is a lot at first. And then we'll go ahead and send them that way, and hopefully that is big enough for them. If not, maybe this side will be bigger. Let's go ahead and kind of like lay out this area. This is part of the, sometimes when you're planning and you're drawing on the piece of paper, it looks bigger than what it actually is. So that's sometimes an issue I have to run into, but nothing we can't adapt to, you know? It's all about compromising sometimes. Okay, and then let's actually add concrete here so people aren't stopping in this area to take a peek at the foxes. And then we'll add null there. We might honestly add like a little glass viewing from the restaurant right in that section. That might be kind of cool. And then we'll go ahead and add our gate. Right there. Cool. And then we'll just have a rock kind of to close off that area back there. Just like that. And then obviously we need to change the color to more of a tan color. Like so. Okay, we got our prairie dogs in. Are they happier? Where are they? Oh, they're in the rock right now. I need you guys to leave the rock, please. Oh, there they are. Ah, they're in the yellow, but they are happier. Okay, I definitely think that's doable. That is doable. Okay, let's go ahead and pause it. Now that we got the prairie dogs in and we know they actually like the space. What they need is a little bit of short grass. Let's go ahead and kind of put some of that, not a lot of it, just because I want to kind of keep it more brown in here. We are in the Desert Dome after all. They need a little bit more short grass. There we go. Okay. Now they need enrichment. Let's go ahead and put some of those in there. I guess they can have one of these. Maybe somewhere. Kind of put that there, maybe. And then I love this little tunnel piece. We'll add about a bajillion of those. Right there. And one over here. There we go. They do need a water pipe, actually. Can we put it? I kind of want to hide it because it's a little ugly. Might have to scoot that over and then throw something like this there. That might work. Yeah. Something like that. I might honestly make this taller too because it's kind of... The door is kind of ugly as well. There we go. Hopefully that doesn't take up too much of their space, though. Their space was already kind of tight. Oh, they can't even reach it. Oh. Well, let's change that. Is that reachable? Yeah, that's reachable. Okay, is there space? Oh, it did take up their space. Uh-oh. This would be sizable for prairie dogs now. Are they really grumpy about it? Oh, they are. Okay, they need a food enrichment as well. You get watermelon. And then they need one more toy thing. You get a tennis ball. There we go. Okay, they should be happy about that. They're at 91 welfare. You know what? I'll take it. We need to give the male... Where's the male? No, he's digging. We need to give you a contraceptive because we cannot have any more prairie dogs than that. Or else they will very much get upset. I'm gonna move that kind of there. We do have to figure out the planting situation just because I feel like they're not gonna want many plants in their area, especially since they're already complaining about their size right now. Okay. That's fine for now. Okay. Let's go ahead and, I guess, finish off their area then, since we're already just working on the prairie dog area. We're gonna go North America, grasslands, and desert. Oh, yeah. They like these little branches. I've been using them like crazy in this area. Let's go ahead and kind of, I guess, scatter the back with them. I think that'll make it look a lot more full anyways. Sink it in a little bit like that. There we go. Yeah. We'll get this one going on this rock. And then I guess we can have like a lot of this like dried grass kind of back here, maybe. Go ahead and align it to the surface. Have that all back there. They're already at 14%. I barely added anything. Oh, no. I guess let's just add this bush back here. Something like that. Gives it a bit of green. Oh my gosh, I'm already on the cusp of them in their area. I think we can add like one more thing, and it's gonna have to be this cactus. Oh, they're already not happy with that. Can I add one more thing? What about this big cactus? Maybe I add the cactuses like out here. Like in there? Yeah, that doesn't affect them. Okay. Can we add another cactus maybe on top of like this exhibit? No, that affects them. That affects them. That affects them. I'm trying to find the spot that like you can place it without it leaking over. Okay, I guess there. And then I'll add some mulch on top actually. We'll have like a little flower pot on top of this exhibit. There we go. Something like that. Cool. I honestly think that's about as many plants as we can add to this. It seems like if I even sneeze in their direction, they won't be happy with their plants anymore. So that'll do. I mean, it's the desert dome. We don't want to make it too lush in here. We got to save that for the tropical house, I think. But let's make this little area a bit more rocky, because this will be just more of like a big plant area. So I think we're going to make it look really, I guess, like not lush, but all the plants will kind of be in this middle area, and it'll feel like it's part of the habitat. I kind of want to make it where it's like bordered off a little bit like this. Maybe like so. Have the rocks kind of angled like this, and just kind of follow the pathway, I think. And then we can just have loads of plants in this little area. I'm thinking cactuses. I'm thinking more cactuses, and probably if I get a little crazy, I'll add cactuses as well. Yeah. Something just like this. And then we'll have lots of mulch and stuff in this middle area. Let's just kind of fill that in. Like so. There we go. And then we can go ahead and add... Where's the big desert? I need these ones. That's what I'm looking for. Cool. Then we'll just kind of scatter these about, maybe. Some of those in there. And then we'll get some mulch. We're actually going to do this over here as well. On this one. Yeah. Yeah, it's coming together. This is looking like a desert dome with every piece I'm placing. Maybe a big rock to kind of block this view, so you have to come over to see the foxes. Go ahead and add that there. Maybe a few of these little pieces to help block off any part of the path you can see. And finally, probably just like, honestly, just this rock pile right here. Yeah, and then maybe we add, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a cactus. We don't want anybody touching this cactus, though. That's kind of a safety hazard. Maybe not. And then we'll add a little bit of the cave section. Right there. Cool. Okay. Extend it a bit more. Okay. Just kind of getting the general vibe of what this area is going to look like. I guess this is all just like guest work that we're doing right now. Yeah, but this desert dome is looking like a desert. Oh, I do need to do this back wall, actually. We'll go ahead and kind of do the same kind of treatment we've been doing to the different walls in the area. Like that, like so. And then we'll have this tall one kind of sticking up right here. Maybe connecting to the top. Yeah. Looking good like that. And then we kind of want to make it look like this is all desert rocks and stuff. And then we'll have plenty of plants right here as well. I feel like not a lot of people will be like looking at this wall, but it is an important piece nonetheless that we have to kind of decorate. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's looking like a desert dome. If you were to tell me to describe a desert dome, I think it would look something kind of like this. Not gonna lie. Yeah, and then we can kind of go crazy with the planting once we get all the rocks in. Just something like that. Yeah. Okay, I guess let's work on this little corner, because we kind of put it down and then we kind of walked away from it. I guess we'll add one more arch. I know I said maximum 2, but you know what? Sometimes I'm a rule breaker. Then we'll go ahead and kind of add that. There we go. So it's just a little like peeking in, seeing what's up right there. Honestly think that's like kind of all we need right there. We'll add some plants up here. There's a really big one I was using on this outside. Can I get away with this without upsetting the prairie dogs? I honestly think that prairie dog's gonna hate that. Not too bad actually. What if I move it more that way? How about now? They still kind of hate it, not gonna lie. More like that. And then maybe we can add some of these rocks up here instead. We want it to look pretty first and foremost. I don't think you'll be able to see that now. Okay. How about now? Oh, yeah. Okay, they're happy again. Let's go ahead and get some of these Gila monsters. If you don't know what a Gila monster is, probably one of my favorite lizards. Just because they're so cool. They're found in America and the top of Mexico in the deserts. And they're one of like the most... They're, I think, the only venomous lizard or something along those lines. Either way, they're venomous. Or like their breath is. I don't know. But they're really cool either way. And we're going to have 4 of them all up in our desert dome right here. So basically, here's the idea. We want to close off. Oh, it's glitched for some reason. Oh, well. Okay, well, I guess we won't worry about that for now. We'll worry about their temperature more. They do not want humidity at all. We'll place all of this stuff. We'll place a heat lamp back there and just a ton of fallen trees. Cool. Okay. And then I'll customize it a little later. There's like a little glitch sometimes in this game that it doesn't let you do it. I don't know why. But you have to shut down the whole game, which we're not going to do. We do want to save it, though. Always save your zoo. Okay. But yeah, basically the idea is we're going to close off these windows so you won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to see inside the prairie dog. So if there's a prairie dog standing right there, it'll look like they're kind of in the same little thing. And then you can see it even from this angle. You might be able to see one of the monsters right there. Either way, kind of a cool concept that I might adapt more in the future as well. Okay, let's get going on kind of making this middle area beautiful. And then we still have the fox area and the restaurant to get through. So we kind of got to pick up the pace here. Can't believe I've been lollygagging. Okay, we need the mulch. I just kind of like making these kind of mulch patches because it helps break up the color a lot, I feel like. Especially on like just kind of these like planter areas. I don't know. I like it, and that's why I'm doing it. Can we get some of this? Maybe some of these in there. Get some of that. There we go. Okay. Now we need a ton of plants. We'll go biome, and we're just going to hit desert, to be honest. We're just going to hit desert. What I'm looking for, I need these trees. These trees have been pivotal in making this area come alive, to be honest. So I'm going to put a ton of them kind of scattered about like here. Yeah, like so. And then maybe one up on this arch. And then we can kind of angle it so it kind of like attaches to the arch. Yeah, there we go. And then I want lots of little cactuses around here. And hopefully people don't bend over and touch them. If they do, honestly, that's on them. I feel like we can kind of get away with any plants in here. Outside, we were really trying to make it look or have plants that grow in the Pacific Northwest biome, since that's kind of where our zoo is based. But inside, I feel like they'd have a controlled environment, so they can kind of get away with whatever plant they want, really. Let's put one just kind of like on the ground here or something. Kind of sticking up like that. This tree would be kind of fun. Let me just spitball in here. Is that too much? That's a little too much. I want it to be open. I'll have cactuses though. I think that's kind of like the key. Where's these big ones? I kind of want like some like that, and then maybe like these bushes. Yeah, we can kind of plant a lot of stuff actually in here, just because it's like no animal's gonna complain right in this area. I do need rocks or something here for this area, and then we can get these little rocks to kind of close off that. Maybe have some cactuses just for a bit of green as you're walking in. Yeah. Okay, I definitely want another tall cactus kind of like that one, but I want it a different shape so it doesn't look repetitive. Which one did I use? I definitely didn't use this one. Go ahead and put that there. And I guess one of those kind here as well. Yeah. Yeah! Oh, I am loving our desert dome. Not gonna lie, after I finished last episode, I just kind of sat and looked at it. Sometimes you kind of got to do that. Just because it's like, you got to be proud of yourself, you know? Maybe we'll add something like that. Let's get a little crazy. I say as I'm not placing... no, we're not going to get crazy. I do want to add something here, though. I just don't know what the size of the roof is going to be yet, so we'll circle back. But let's go ahead and start kind of working on this area. This is going to also be a planter, actually. Let us actually get this planter done. Just as since we're working on kind of getting plants in. There we go. And then this is all gonna be beautiful as well. Let's get some mulch. If I can grab some. There we go. And then just kind of fill in this area with it. And then we need those little rocks I was using over there, because we need to kind of fill in right here. There we go. Looking good. I honestly might put a bench right there because I feel like that's near the toilets. And, you know, it's always good to just kind of have the benches near the toilets as people are waiting for their family members to use it. It's also kind of near the restaurant, so maybe if there's a wait for the restaurant, people can kind of just chill around here. This would be a restaurant I would for sure go to. Imagine going to a restaurant in a desert dome. I wouldn't be able to contain my excitement, really. Okay, we'll go ahead and add that. I was trying to grab this tree right here. We'll go ahead and add one that's kind of like here. Kind of change the angle a little bit. That's looking good. I honestly might have to check with Carlos. He's our armadillo. I feel like some of this might be actually sticking into his area. And Carlos might get upset about that. That is something we gotta check. But it's looking pretty good. I think one more bush and honestly, this area will be done. Let's get this kind of bush. This looks like a fun bush. Yeah. There we go. Maybe I'll lower these a little bit too, so you can see the cactus is a bit better. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, it's coming together. And we'll use a couple of dry plants. Okay, let's check with Carlos. Carlos! He's over here. Oh, he's fine. He's got a 40% range. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. I did kind of upgrade Carlos's exhibit a little bit, too. I think I added these rocks, and then I added this little pipe thing to help block the backside of stuff. But, yeah. Yeah! I think that's a lot of the planting done for this main desert area. I do have to fix that. I will very soon. But let's... I actually want to... Let's get, like, a little fence over here. Whoops. Just to kind of, like, help tie the area together, I think. The symmetry or something like that. I just felt it in my bones. I needed a fence over here. Yeah, something like that. And we can go ahead and kind of attach it. There we go. Yeah, that kind of just helps the flow, I feel like. Ah, I am in love with this desert dome. I need to block these walls. I can't believe I haven't done that. Then we'll add a little bit of height and maybe angle this one a little down. There we go. Cool. Yeah, it's looking really good. Loving our desert dome. Okay, speaking of our desert dome, we're not done. We have to add a whole nother exhibit still. And we're already 40 minutes in. So let's go ahead and start getting our fox. I'm pretty sure this is big enough for the FENNEC FOX. We're just going to buy one and see. Let's go and buy Yasmin. Yasmin is going to be our sweet little FENNEC FOX. And we're sending it right here. We have to hit play for that. That's 268 meters. Oh, I think did another prairie dog just get delivered? What was that? I need to see how much space FENNEC FOXes normally need. 180, we have 268. That should be plenty. Are these prairie dogs still good? Yeah. Okay, I think one just got glitched or something, got sent back. But yeah, okay. Prairie dogs are not the original species we were gonna go for, but you know what? A happy accident. I won't be sad that we have prairie dogs instead, because it still fits the theme. We were going for like a North American desert in this area as part of the dome, and then we'll have like more of an African area on near the restaurant. So yeah, still fits the theme. We need one of these. Let's kind of duplicate that and just kind of send this over here. This is important because we're in franchise mode. You need to educate your guests. Oh, that's also glitched anyways. Okay, well, I guess I can't educate the guests just yet. But they will very soon. We also need donation bins. Let's go ahead and kind of scatter those about. I made them brown for this area. I feel like it kind of matches the vibe perfectly. So, excited about that. Let's add a few benches just while we're waiting for the fox to be delivered. Add some of that. I think the fox just got put there. Any other fences that we can... I guess we can put like a bench here. Kind of in the rocks. That looks nice. And maybe a bench right there as well. Okay. And then we'll want some donation bins kind of near here as well. We'll have like a little education board. I have actually quite a few of them over in this area that I really like. So we'll just kind of put one over here, kind of sink it in the rocks. Cool. And then I'll change what that looks like, but it is glitched right now still. Okay, how you doing? You like the space? Oh my gosh. Good, you do. Except for the hard shelter, but don't you worry, you'll be on the inside anyways. One thing I want to do is actually make this one-way glass. And then kind of raise it up a little bit. Turn that concrete. There, okay. And then we'll kind of make it... I need to kind of hide this, actually. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and get Yasmin all happy. Yasmin, I already love you so much. Okay. We're gonna do... Yasmin needs a bit of variety, so we're gonna kind of hide... Have a little rock section in this middle bit that you can kind of hide. She can hide away if she ever so cares to do. She also likes the tunnels, and I love this enrichment item, so we're just gonna kind of spam it around here. She needs a water pipe, which we can luckily just hide back there. Get some dog toys, because technically it's a fox, so they like their dog toys. They like their bamboo stick, and I guess we'll give Yasmin a little burrow. Honestly, we can probably add it just kind of like here. Okay, is she happy with that? Yasmin, are you enjoying? The space is kind of getting there, but that's okay. We're not adding anything else. I'm pretty sure she's happy with the enrichment. She needs more toys, actually. What more toys can I add? Oh, a tennis ball? You want a tennis ball? There we go. Is that? Yeah, that's good. Okay. She needs terrain, though. Let's go ahead and get our terrain going. Oh, one of our red pandas are pregnant. That's fun. Okay, I think it's just sand. Lots of sand is what Yasmin wants. Lots of sand. Just the whole place sand, pretty much. And then soil as well. Let's go ahead and get a lot of soil. There we go. Okay. That's pretty much... Yasmin's done. We need plants now. We need beautiful plants. What have I been using in this area? Not that one. Not that one. I've been using this quite a bit, not gonna lie. Let's kind of put some on top of the rocks. We don't want to put too many on the bottom, just because I feel like that might interrupt her walkable space. But I feel like she'll be able to walk through this plant and this plant. Hopefully. Let me double check. Can you walk through those plants? Yeah. Okay. That's nice. I kind of need to... Let me go ahead and extend this and just kind of turn it vertical. Because I realized you could kind of see past it. Okay, that's like her little hiding spot. Ah, Yasmin, you're so cute. Oh my gosh, Yasmin. When did you get so cute and fluffy? Ow! One of my favorite animals. Oh my gosh. They used to be in the top 5. Not gonna lie. I don't know what deranked them though. They got a little bit lowered over time. I think it was just I found epic animals, but they still are cute. As soon as I knew I was doing the Desert Dome, that animal was non-negotiable. I knew we were gonna have FENNEC foxes in here. Then I guess we'll have that. Just kind of have it sticking up kind of like there. And then we can actually... Let's get some of these like pebble things in. I think this will help kind of break it up. I do have to check if this ruins like their walkable space. We don't want Yasmin getting upset. Does that ruin your walkable space? No. Oh, perfect. I think it took like a few off, but that's fine. Cool. Okay. Yasmin's chilling. Let's actually get some of these pebbles in this other one. I forgot to do it. There you go, prairie dogs. You can have a bit more of a rocky kind of terrain. There you go. We're going to have to double check they're not upset about that. Doesn't look like it. Oh, maybe a little bit, actually. Oh, that's still fine. We do need to move that a little bit, because that's sticking out. Cool. Yeah! That's coming together. I do need... I was using this little twig to block off the pole. So we're going to go ahead and kind of copy that over here and do that same kind of thing. Since we're still in the desert dome. There we go. And then kind of maybe attach it here. Can I rotate it? Something like that. Yeah. And then just one that's right over here. Cool. And I do want... I love this piece for this desert area, not gonna lie. We're gonna just kind of attach one here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's coming together. And if Yasmin's happy, I'm happy. Where is Yasmin? Where? Yasmin? Yasmin! No, she's somewhere in here. Yasmin? Oh, you're in the bush. Oh, that's why I couldn't see you. Okay, yeah, Yasmin's happy. I'm happy. That means everyone's happy. Are you guys happy? I hope so. Cool. Okay, now we can get to the part that I never really do, and that's build a full-on restaurant. Normally, I just kind of stick this down wherever I can, and I call it good. But that's not going to do today. We're going to actually make a proper Oasis restaurant, and then we have to build a balcony. This is literally the last thing we have to do in the Desert Dome. Oh, I guess make the toilet area too. We'll make the toilet area as well. Let's actually... We need a toilet sign. Toilet! I just kind of like sticking this... We'll just kind of stick this up on this rock, maybe. It's not really wanting to. Maybe something like this. Then we'll kind of pull it out. There we go. That's all we need. Just to let people know they can go use the restrooms over there. Cool. Okay. Now I don't fully know... Oh, it's not even working. I guess I can still build it. We need to go ahead and build on the group here. I'm thinking, honestly, if we do like a glass, kind of like something like this, just right at this entrance area. And then I low-key want to duplicate that and have it over here as well. So then people like who are eating, maybe they can see Yasmin from this little corner. I don't know. I might have to change this though. I'll have to make it look pretty from the restaurant view, but yeah, that's kind of the idea right there. And then I guess we'll just get a plaster piece and just kind of copy that. Get like a cool maybe. Ooh, this one's kind of fun. Get something a little fancier going. Okay. I see you, plaster piece. And then we just kind of want to attach it here. And kind of have it just go all the way down that way. Okay. And then technically this is all going to be actually too high. Right in here. Cool. Just like this, and then it's gonna come across there, and like so. Yeah, and then I guess we'll have like a little sign here that says Oasis, maybe. Nothing crazy in here. I might have to make sure the rocks aren't sticking in, because we want the restaurant to look bougie. And there's nothing bougie about rocks. Cool. I think a lot of people, a lot of guests will actually be kind of drawn to this way just because of the restaurant. So far, this is the only restaurant in the zoo, so I think it's gonna be a prime guest spot. And then let's get this kind of sticking out. Cool. And then the idea is we have a ton of tables in here, and then we also have this open and be glass with a door. So then you can kind of come out here, and there's going to be a massive little balcony. So let's kind of get this going. We want the inside to be kind of like a floor. We need floor. What would be a good desert floor? Honestly, something kind of like this. We don't want anything too crazy. Is there like a good desert themed floor? Maybe that one? That's not bad. We'll have this on the inside. Like so. And let's go ahead and kind of flatten this terrain. It's not all one to hide. There we go. Oh, it's a rock that's sticking in. Scoot that out. A little further. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and add, I guess, some windows here as well. Get a little crazy. I don't know. I gotta scoot them down a little bit. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that lightens up this area so much. And then once we kind of get everything sorted forest-wise, I'll make sure there's like a kind of a view. So then people are walking on the path and they're like, I want to eat there, is the idea. And then we'll have, go ahead and kind of have like more of a, not concrete, more of like a rustic thing like this for the patio area. And the fun thing is it's going to kind of stick out like this a little bit. Yeah. We don't want it to go too far in, but that's kind of the general idea. Now let's make this patio area pretty. There we go. Cool. Yeah, and then you can kind of dine and look at the camels and the desert oasis over there. Let's go ahead and kind of keep using... Where's that? Let's keep using this. I say fence. It's not technically a fence. Whoops. Align to surface off. So then we can kind of mess with it. Let's go ahead and just kind of have this as this outside fence. Honestly, we might just have it as this whole area's fence, like right here as well. Yeah. That's kind of fun. Has like a fun little frill on the bottom too. Okay. And then I think we can kind of just bring it all the way down. There we go. This will help make this area feel really connected, not gonna lie. And then we just need it rotated around here. Ah, when we see guests up here actually sitting, it'll be so fun. Cool. I honestly think that's good. Maybe I'll add one of these like taller rocks kind of here as well. Okay. Yeah. Looking really good. We'll put some rocks kind of under this to kind of make it seem like that's what's holding this area up. We don't want to do like too many pillars or anything. Cool. And then maybe just to switch up the color, we'll add some of this. Yeah! Ah! I'd never really build like my restaurants properly, but I'm glad I kind of wrote down build the restaurant. And I'm like, okay. So now I am. I need a glass, the old glass door. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Glass. I need like the little door frame. Is there one? I see this, but it's kind of ugly. There's this one. This one might work. It just kind of looks a little too different. Where's that glass modern that I was using? Here. Why does it look like that, though? Nobody knows. Maybe you can go and do this. Like so. And then I actually have these glass doors that I'm just going to duplicate over. And just kind of like line them up. Yeah. Something like that. We'll go ahead and kind of attach it to one side so then I can get a panel or something in here. Looks a little wonky. It's not going to be perfect. Working with glass is kind of clunky sometimes. Hopefully it looks good enough, though. Something like this. This is why a lot of the times I don't do this restaurant stuff. I don't know. I kind of regret making this out of glass now. Maybe I can try to make like some kind of design. Oh! Oh! What have I done? No! There's too many just lines. I don't know. Can I move this stuff more center? Like so. And then maybe if I just... There are like these arches. Something like that. And then I'll just kind of make it... You know what? Yeah, I'll just attach it to there. I honestly think that's just the best we're going to get. There we go. Okay. Cool. We do want it... We're going to go ahead. There's like these... I don't even know where they are. These flower pots. There we go. I want kind of like this to be kind of the middle section. Just maybe like make a line of them. I think technically these are like from the African set, but I think they work well in the desert biome. Maybe make this one shorter. And then we can have like different flowers in here. Something like kind of like this. Adds a bit of color to the desert oasis. Something like that. Are they? Oh, they're not even eat. We gotta make sure they're straight. There we go. Straighten them out. Boom. And then we can kind of get and start having fun because you can kind of put these tables down and then you'll be able to connect them to the actual restaurant. So then you can kind of tell people to like sit here, if that makes sense. And we'll just kind of, ooh, wait, I can actually change the colors, can't I? What's a fun color? Maybe this peach. That could be good. That kind of fits the desert vibe. And then we'll just kind of copy and paste them. And then the fun part is with this little thing, you can sit right across from other people. I think in real life that would be my worst nightmare, but in Planet Zoo, it's fine. Cool. Yeah, that's even. That does not leave a lot of space on this outside area. Oh, I can put a table there. I'll put a table there. I'll just put one in each of these corner areas. And then the outside will be fully just these tables. Just scattered about like so. We definitely want a lot but kind of by this entrance area, and then we'll just have one in that corner. Perfect. Yeah, looking really good. And then I want to get just a trash can. I feel like we'd have a trash can somewhere. Oh, I guess it's not technically a path. Oh, we can't put the trash can down. Oh, I guess we'll fine. We'll put it over here. I didn't even want to put a trash can over there. I did. I'm just a little hurt. Okay. Honestly think we'll have to design it a little bit, but I'll go ahead and do that later. Because I think I have to do the roof. That is one thing I do still have to do. So let's go ahead and kind of... I'll do the roof as much as possible just so we can kind of get some of this sorted before we head off. Get that all there. We'll go ahead and kind of figure out where we want our skylights. Because we'll add a couple of them. There. I guess we'll just have one big skylight area above Yasmin's thing. So we made these little open-aired skylights just last episode. So we'll go ahead and add them in here. We'll have them facing this way. There we go. Okay, and then this is kind of what it's looking like on the inside. I do have to do a lot of finicky work for this, so I won't subject you to that. But low-key, I'm thinking it's looking good. And with that done, that's the Desert Dome complete. You'll have to see all the extra details I add in the tour very soon, but we only have one more habitat to go, which you can click and watch that right here or subscribe to see exactly when that comes out. You guys enjoy that and have a great rest of your day.